here on the sides. I can do that later. I do sell all of my pieces, and again, a 12 by 16. It's a pretty good size canvas. Okay, we're gonna give it a dry really quick, guys, so we can get down to business. I'm sorry you can see this. That's part of my stand. I'm not really sure how to get that out of the picture. And if I move this down. I do have a brick under here. Now you can still see it very well, right? I have a brick that kind of stabilizes and it allows me to be able to see a little bit better. And I mean, you do want me to be able to see, right? In order to paint. So I hope you guys are having a great day, and I hope this is kind of therapeutic for you. So just sit and watch me paint. I did do my nails today, but then I was like changing up some paint, and they got a little messy. So luckily this dries quick, especially when you put water in it, like with it. So the water not only spreads the canvas, but it really does help it to dry a little bit quicker. And again, this is with acrylic paint. So we're not going to really worry about the background that much because, you know, the star of the show is the pumpkins. I'm going to do 2 or 3, and I always like to add embellishments, so we're probably going to have some faux green on here. And that's probably it. I'm going to create texture. I'm not going to actually use any of like the lightweight spackle. I'm just going to make it appear to be popping out with my painting techniques. I'm sorry, I know this is boring, but I do like to start like right from the beginning, and I almost forgot. That's why when this video started, there was a little bit of black on here. But I know you guys like to see it from start to finish. So again, I hope you're having a great day. It is drying fast, guys. It's just it still takes time. It's drying faster. So I like to do black backgrounds a lot for the fall. I don't do Halloween. I haven't found that a lot of people purchase it because, you know, my art is a little bit higher priced. And you can keep fall out longer. So, and I just don't really like Halloween. I haven't. I participated and I allowed my kids to participate when they were little. I just never really liked it. It's just not for me. I am gonna have to add to my paints. I forgot I should have done that first. And I've done, oh yeah, you can see this a little bit. Maybe I'll move this over a little bit. Okay. Here's my palette. I like to use ice cube trays, the ones that are like that silicone. It actually keeps them moist longer, and I put a baggie over, like I put it in a baggie at the end so that the end of each session, end of each painting session, to preserve it longer even. Okay, I'm going to say that's okay. That's good. You know what? I'm almost out of orange, and that's not good when you're painting pumpkins. Although, oh yeah, I do have a different orange, but this one, I like these. Especially when you're, like when I'm starting a painting out, you want to get as much paint on here as possible, like even for like thickness. And so they're nice, but this is the only paint I have, the only orange, and it's pretty weak actually. I might have a neon. Let me see. Weak meaning it's just not as vibrant as I'd like. No, that's not the right one. I like to use my neons, you know, to add some vibrance, but I believe, oh, here it is. It's gone though. I saved it just so I would know which one. But it like, I can get a little splatter out of it. Okay, well, let's get this one. And again, I'm so sorry, but my paintbrushes look like they're used because they are. I always wash the actual brush part, the bristles, but I don't often wash the other parts. Whoops, this is wet down here. And this is Pinterest inspired, okay? Just give me a minute here. Let's take some white, and then I've got that neon, and just, I don't even know what it's called. It's just orange. But you can get like the deep orange. Oh, I do have a tangerine. It's not necessarily orange, but I bet that would be nice for giving it like contrast. Whoops. Sorry guys, I'm new on StreamYard. I'm practicing here. So I dipped in orange. I'm also going to dip in my Tuscan, which looks a little bit contaminated, but it's a deep red. Well, it gave it a little bit of a pinky tone, and I don't want that, but it is a pretty color. When you add white to this, it does help at least like when you're starting to kind of give it that vibrance as well. You can always go back and add colors. I do like maybe 1,500 times. I'm gonna dip in my water and clean my brush off a little bit because we're also gonna have white, although this does have a little bit of orange in it now. Whoopsies. Because I did dip into that. So I suggest, and I do actually, in one of my groups, I did like a short video, I guess, a little mini clip on like the reasoning behind placement in your palette. So that is in one of my groups, one of my private groups. If you're interested, please let me know. You can watch that video. So it was actually for a painting party. I just had a June painting party. I'm going to be having a July one. Oh, I forgot the date, guys. It's the last Friday of the month, and I believe it is the 26th, but I will check. So it's virtual, right on Creative Roots Art. And I'm also going to be selling it's a two-part. So the two-part video will be available for any time. I'm going to open this. This is my chalk paint, and I love this color. It's called Seafoam. I feel like it's a little bit darker than Seafoam. And that is like, I don't know, maybe like it has a little bit more like Seafoam is more green, okay? This has more of a bluish tone to it, and I just like it. And this is the chalk paint. Chalk paint covers better. I'm hoping you're going to be able to see what I'm trying to do here. It must be a different size. Okay, so we're going to add this blue, which I think it was called electric blue. Yeah, that's so pretty. Isn't that pretty? I love that contrast. So I am going to dip in my white, like I said. When you're first like starting, well, for me anyway, I like to see that just the form, the colors. I like to see the painting come to life immediately. So by adding that white, it just adds some vibrance. There's a little bit of orange in that, but that's okay. Like I said, this is just to get us started. Yeah, this guy's bigger, so I am going to make him a little bigger, and I feel like this might be up a little too high. I wanted to make sure you guys could see it though. And don't worry, we're going to get into our fun stuff. I'm known for my my adult finger painting and scratching. I actually use my fingernails. I've kind of veered off from that a little bit. Like throughout the canvas painting, I will use my fingers, but and my nails, they actually really started hurting, guys. So this is what I'm using. This is my palette knife, and this has become my scratch tool. So by doing this, you immediately achieve dimension, okay? You don't always see this throughout my painting, but again, I like to see dimension, texture. I just, right from the very beginning, I start working on that. So here we are, and look at it. I mean, already just by that scratch, I'm gonna bring this up because I'm not sure if it's gonna You guys aren't going to be able to see very well, but I can't see very well into there. Okay, so I'll do the orange one. Again, I said, I kind of feel like I got this up too high, darn it. Because they are going to be on pedestals. This guy's not, but I'm afraid you're not going to see that one, but we'll try it. So, and what I'm doing is you have to have a really good imagination. I'm picturing an actual pumpkin and what shape that is, because that's, we like to trick the eye. That's what this is all about. You want to make it look as if this is popping out and that it has shape, right? Okay, I got that going. Let's do our, oops, let me see, where's my medium? All right, so this is actually probably a small medium, but I like these. They're round and they're pointed at the top. We're gonna add our little pedestal, and they are going to be like a gold. I'm actually gonna add my metallics right now, but metallics, they don't hold their luster if you mix them like with the other paint, whether it's the chalk paint, acrylic. But just to show you what color it's going to be, and I did add a little bit of white here. So yeah, we're gonna hide a lot of this, but maybe we can make it, I don't know, guys. I don't want that pumpkin there. I didn't want the pumpkin there, but I don't want to have to redo it. I don't know. I think I'm gonna go like this, and we'll just do like a mini pedestal, like candle holder, That's what this look is supposed to be. You could even do, if you're really into like the grungy, you can make these look like they're like all rusted up too, right? This one, like I'm trying to achieve that like gold look. Whoops. And then this one has kind of like that saucer on the bottom. I'm gonna add a little bit of yellow and white, because like I said, the white just gives it that vibrance. I'm all about the detailing, and I just like to get right down to it. I hope you guys enjoy this. And let me know if you need any tips, and maybe what paints where, all that kind of stuff. I would be happy to tell you that, share different like names depending on what brand it is. These are actually two different golds. I've got more like that pewter gold, and then I have this vibrant gold that I got at the dollar store. I was pretty hesitant. I didn't know how it was going to turn out, but I just purchased it, and it's really good. I love it. And then the pewter type is Craftsmart, I think, which is Michael's brand. Okay, so hopefully you can see. I always say this, like this part, I'm setting the stage. We're setting the stage for what's to come. And then I just love to build up and build up and build up. I have not decided what I'm doing with this little floating pumpkin yet. We'll figure it out, right? This is the same thing. Maybe I will put a little one here. I don't know. I don't really want to cover this up, but I definitely don't want to have to redo that pumpkin. So, not that it's hard, but this is already going to be fairly long. But I do hope that you enjoy it. This is just kind of a quick version. The classes are the best. So it was mine. I called it a painting party. And I did it live. But the nice thing is you can take that live, and they're videos. So it was a 2-part video. It's $25. It was $25 for the 2-day paint party, and they really enjoyed it. It was so fun. The only bad thing, like the day of the live, I think it was day 2. I didn't see my comments, so I thought no one was commenting. Like, oh well, because it was a small class. I think there was only like maybe 7 of us in it. So, I thought, well, everyone always says my painting is like painting time when they watch is so like therapeutic and calm. So I'm like, that's okay, guys. I understand you guys are just kind of being chill. And come to find out, they actually were commenting the entire time. I've never had that happen. I know, like I've heard that it happens, but I've never had it happen. So it just never even crossed my mind. I literally just thought they were enjoying the moments and, you know, kind of learning all like the key notes that I was teaching and all that. I laughed so hard after I think I was getting ready to, I don't know, maybe put it as my story or something. And I'm like, what? There was 44 comments. I'm like, oh my gosh. So then when I started actually watching them, I literally was laughing so hard. I felt bad, you know, but what could you do? It already happened. So I'm like, they must think I am such a dork. Oh my gosh. Like it's like not my first rodeo. I don't know, guys. I have no idea why it just did not cross my mind. I'm like, oh well, because there was literally, I think it said there was 2 or 3 people watching. So, and I don't go live very often in a private group, you know. So I'm like, well, I guess that's just how it is. That wasn't the case. Okay, you can see down here, because I didn't thoroughly dry it, it is picking up the black, but that's okay. That's okay. This is really pretty. I love it. Okay, let's do some stems here. Actually, they are going to be black as well, but we want them to be able to be seen. And what I really enjoy doing is you can just like go grab some bark from your, you know, right from your yard or whatever, wherever trees are. I have them right outside here, and they make a really nice embellishment. It just looks really like realistic. You could do Jew, you know, all that kind of stuff. I just prefer to do the real bark. We'll see. I don't know if I even have any in here. I was drying some, but I think it's probably not going to be good for this, but we'll check it out, guys. So see how like you can actually like get a painting started where you can visually see it pretty quick, right? Okay, gosh. Okay. Now we're going to start, well, I'm going to fix that one because it's a little too white. Add like a little hint of orange in there because, you know, if you put orange with black, it turns brown. So obviously we can't make it real dark black because our background's black. I'm going to add florals, not florals, sorry. You could add florals, but I'm going to add green. Is that dripping all over right in front of you guys? Okay, so this is new. StreamYard is new to me, so hopefully I'm doing it right. I love this aqua too. Let me grab that. Which this says seafoam too. But this, to me, this is seafoam color. That's aqua. But whatever it is, I love the color. It's very, very, very soft and pretty. I paint so often now that my paints are almost always gone. Oops, dropped the tangerine there. But that does help, you know, when you go like that. All right, how long? I'm really trying to do just a 45-minute here, so I think we're good. I think we're good. We're gonna take our white, and so now it's just all about like adding different colors to create that round look. So these won't even really show, and I'll go back and do them a couple times. This is some navy I like, this navy. I love midnight blue. I think it's a folk art. They just didn't have it when I was there, so I grabbed this navy, which I like, but it certainly is not a replacement for it at all. All right, so let's do this. I gotta make it look like it's actually on here, right? And white is definitely going to be a key factor in this painting because of the black background. So you might not always like use that to build up, you know, that color, the black, but in this case, it's going to work for us. So pretty. So pretty. This is going to be a white one. So I'm going to use, I've got buttercream, or no, actually, that one's antique white. I had buttercream before. The difference is Antique white has more of like a taupey tone to it, where the buttercream is a little more yellow. So I'm actually gonna dip in my yellow along with my white here. So you're basically just using white. In my case, this is antique white, so I use regular white, probably a matte. That's gonna go in front of that one. So I'm using regular white. It's not a cool white, it's just white. Tan, I'll put a little bit of khaki, or not tan, antique white and khaki, which is tan. I love the name khaki. Just sounds more exciting to me. This is khaki that's going to be going on right now. All my paints are from yesterday when I used, oh goodness, I don't remember what I painted yesterday, but I didn't like refill. So sometimes they get pretty contaminated and I just like scrape it on out of there. Where I'm located, where my studio is, there's no running water, so I have to use other measurements, other techniques, I guess. So this is just regular brown. I believe this one was called espresso. I thought it would take the place of burnt umber, and it does not at all. I believe it's Craft Smart, which is Michael's brand. So sometimes their brand is amazing. The colors, like I have a campground green that I will use today, and I absolutely love campground green. So that's a good one, but there's a few that are not. They just are not that great, but it's okay. You can always mix, Okay, this might dry quicker because I do have my fan on. It's not facing, it's not blowing this way, but it kind of does add, it takes moisture out of the air. So when it's on, I was hot and then I got cold, so I didn't shut it off because it would be hard for me to turn it back on video. So it's just not facing me, but it probably still is having some sort of effect, Hope you guys are enjoying this. Okay. Let's give this a little bit of texture. Texture and dimension, all that good stuff. I mean, it's actually it's June. Sorry, it is July 1st right now when I'm creating this. So, the crazy thing is, though, there is a very fall feel outside, and it has been for a couple of days. I live in upstate New York, and usually in June and July it's pretty warm daily, well, that's not been the case. It was unbearably hot, like in mid-June, maybe for a couple days, where like we literally couldn't even stay outside. But prior to that, cold and rainy, just drizzly. So no, we have not had the best summer. So doing this right now, it kind of feels like fall. Okay, so now we're doing our scratching. And this is what I do. I do like the same steps right from the beginning. I don't really add anything new. I mean, until like we start doing, our embellishments. But once you learn these techniques, I gotta move that down like that. Yeah, that's what you're gonna do. You're just gonna use, those 3 or 4 techniques throughout the entire painting. That goes for all paintings, not just this. So that's what I try to do, is just teach you guys like the basics, and then you go from there. Now on paint party days, whether we call it a paint party, a workshop, a course, I call it a paint party because it was actually my birthday, the day we did it. My birthday is June 28th, and I turned 50. So that's what I chose to do on my birthday. It was fun. I think the first one's like 2 hours, and the second one, I don't know, that might have been like 1.5 hours, let's say. So I'm going to combine the two, and it's a it's like a little packet. You're gonna have access to those 2 days all in one. Now, why it was a 2-day is because I used baking soda, and I like it to cure for about, well, I actually do it for like 24 hours, but I say give it a good 8 hours, because you're going to be, I use a lot of water, especially in that one. We did a really cool flower with like, what was it called? The background. Abstract, yeah. So it had a real abstract feel to it. So I used a lot of water anyway. And that's why you want to make sure that baking soda is cured, so that you can go ahead and go in again with all that water, and it'll stay firm the longer you leave it. All right, so I hope you're enjoying this. It's getting built up, isn't it? Whoops, got the wrong brush. I'm only using 3 brushes, so, and then that palette knife. And that's what I did with our painting class too. Oh boy. Hold on, guys. Sorry, I have a low battery. These are what we're using. This one, and I haven't used this yet, and this, but that's our outlining brush, okay? So I can use more than just these 3, but I like to show you that you can get away with just using 3. So let's pull a little bit of white up in here, and I feel like this one needs a little bit black, a little bit of brown. Again, burnt umber is one of my absolute favorites, so I can't wait to get back to the craft store and grab it. I'm not sure why I didn't purchase it that day. I really just don't know. Like I said, I think I thought that I could get away with just using that espresso, maybe adding a little bit of like a red to it, because burnt umber has a red tone, but that's not the case. To me, that just looks like a regular, like cocoa or something, brown or true brown. Again, it's just like, depending on the brand, they all have their own little creative names. And if you are interested in that, knowing more about that, or the specifics behind that, please PM me at Creative Roots Art. I'm not sure. I'm using StreamYard. I don't know if there's comments. I don't think there is, right? I'm not really sure, but I do know if you do go on my Facebook, I can direct you. I could tell you what's what and all that. Use that white again. This is pretty wet still. So that's how we're doing, guys. We're just building up, doing a little bit of showing you some tips and tricks and techniques. And I do enjoy finger painting. I like to do that for detailing. I feel like it works the best. For time's sake here, I will probably dry it. I don't love to dry. This almost looks like eucalyptus or something. Not sure. Oh, that's a pretty color. I've used just like a true green, Christmas green. I used my moss green and campground green, which is a darker color. This is campground green right there. So these are going to just be randomly placed, and I will also have some faux leaves. I'm not sure what. I do have eucalyptus. I have quite a bit of pretty leaves, so I'll add them here and there. But I'm used to going live, so I was going to say, you guys let me know what this, do you think this looks like eucalyptus or something? But obviously you can't answer me. So it's fun, like branching out and trying different things. It's going to take a little bit of time, This is literally the second time I use StreamYard. So I'm kind of just practicing, really. Now these are going to have the greens too, but it's just too wet. So this video is just like getting us started, okay? Just getting us started and practicing my StreamYard. Where do we put this one? Grabbing my white and my yellow. So I hope that you guys will take one of my courses. They're so fun. It's gonna, I believe I already said that, but it's going to be on Friday. The last Friday of every month is when I plan to do them. I believe it's the 26th this month, and I'm waiting for some feedback. I'm not sure if we're gonna do Christmas in July or a pumpkin, like something like this. And so the advantage of, obviously, of watching the 2-day live is you literally get to ask me anything as long as my darn comments are working. I'm going to make sure I have my Kindle pulled up too. I just wasn't expecting that. I've done the group chats, is that called? Just, I came live. I've come live in a group before and that didn't happen. So I don't know if it was like a freak thing. I put a little bit of electric blue in there just because with the black background not being fully dry, it's kind of turning a little bit like mucky looking. But again, guys, this is just getting us started. Obviously, when you sign up for a class, you get start to finish. All the way down to like if we wanted to obviously add the embellishments, but I could show you how we could make a frame for it. All that fun stuff. Let's see. So these are going to be attached by little, like the little, I think that's a vine, isn't it? That attaches the two. So not a whole lot of teaching here. This is how I do my lives, my Facebook lives. I get us started, and then I'm also that same course, well, group, we'll say, that we do our paint parties in. You can also subscribe, be a subscriber, like a VIP, and then you get like all of them, everything. Every time I put anything in there, and I do put like exclusives of some sort, and you're going to be able to take advantage of all that. All right, there is going to be some greens kind of hanging over, but I want to be able to still build those up a little bit. So setting the stage, right? This would be really pretty with maybe like some moss here, Excelsior, that green moss or the brown moss. And that's not going to be done here either. I'm just telling you things that it could be. So we're going to do some little finger painting here. I like to do that for my blending, okay? So I've got my orange and that white. The key to making something appear to be popping out is make sure you have different colors. You can't take the orange and do your orange pumpkin just orange. Because if you look at anything, the light hits it differently, and that's where you get that dimension and that form. So this is just that regular orange. Let's see what it is. This says it's cadmium. And cadmium, I don't know if I'm saying that right, orange hue. Very, very inexpensive, guys. I believe you can get it at, I know you can get those types of tubes where you have like the thick paint at Michael's. I got this one at Job Lot. I mean, literally probably like $3. And I don't like to use it as, for, oops, there's a little green in this. For most of my blending, I don't use that. I couldn't use just that alone, okay? But look at how pretty. So we've got our white, we've got our orange, but look at this. You can just continue to use this knife. And this technique with this palette knife is fairly new to me. I mean, I know I had to do it in high school and college because, you got to do all of it. But I haven't used it much as artist on my own. But well, actually, some of my crafter friends used it. I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot about that, you know? And like, it really does save my fingernails, which I don't care about having beautiful fingernails. I mean, I haven't done that in years, but it started hurting, like really hurting, because when I get, when I get a blend in, I don't care what's going on. All I'm focused on is getting um, the right colors and achieving that look. And oh my goodness, especially when I'm on a live, I literally didn't even realize until after. I was like, wow, why do my fingernails hurt or my fingers hurt? And that was why. So I hope you're enjoying this. Let's see, we've already been on for I think 25 minutes. So I'm really trying to just keep it at the most like a 45-minute video. We'll see if it even uploads. I hope it does, because I am actually in do these pre-recorded videos, and I'm hoping to be part of that. So I had to practice here. So yeah, so this is what I would have been doing with my fingernails. And like I said, if I'm really trying, to get like a really good look and it's just not working with this, then I will use my fingernails. But I'm pretty thankful that this works quite well. I could almost say that it does take the place. And I mean, palette knife, oops, you see that? Palette knife creating is so much fun, guys. If you want this kind of look, the smudged look everywhere. I'm just totally making these colors up. I'm not looking at anything. After you do this for a while, I always say it's almost like a sense, like one of my senses, like you got your smell, taste, touch. This is like, for me, knowing where to put paint is literally almost like another scent. I can almost and it sounds weird. I don't know how else to explain it, but I almost feel like I can taste it in my mouth. Like I have to sit and yeah, kind of feel it. I don't know. I don't know if it's just me or I'm just not sure. It's definitely something the Lord has blessed me with, though. I'll tell you that. I'm adding my brown. Let's see. So this is espresso, and this probably is backwards. I'm sorry about that. Not positive, because literally I've only done one other video. That was StreamYard, pre-recorded, and it didn't upload. Didn't upload. I don't know if I need more storage. All right, in case you're interested, the blue is sapphire. Okay, this the bright blue anyway. I think I might have said electric blue because I did have an electric blue. This is sapphire. So, we're just going. So your blue is going to have the sapphire. It's going to have navy. It's going to have the aqua. And even this chalk paint. I did have the chalk paint. Oh, I see. It's all contaminated. I had this color in my palette, but I see there's black all over it. And I'll probably do this at the end. I do like a final detailing. A lot of times I'll do it once it's sold. So this is almost like a spackling. See that? Oh, so pretty. So I got a little bit over here. No big deal. We'll work it in. Let's put a little bit of this here. Isn't that pretty color? Woo, I love it. Especially with that antique white. Pretty. It needs a good drying. It really does need a good drying. I'm going to be done real soon here. I'm going to show you guys the gold. Let's see. I'll do that right now. Where's my gold? That's my good friend Steph with the vintage pebble. She got us all saying, hold please. Here it is. So this is from the dollar store. So there's lots of times, oh, sorry, I'm trying to figure it out where you guys can see that. There's lots of times I wouldn't want to use this bright gold. I was always into more like the pewter gold, which is right here. And, oh no, that's my khaki. It's my khaki. Oh, the khaki's apple barrel. Just a moment, guys. I had it right here. Because I used it this morning. I do have a section with all my paints that's just like the metallics, but I'm not clearing it, so I didn't put it back. Did I? Because that's silver. I'm sorry. That's disappointing, but it is like a, more like just a dull. That's all I can think of. A more pewter, dull gold. It's not this, it's bright gold, but I'll use both. I just have to find it. So, just so you guys can see, it's going to have that actual luster gold on here. And I mean, we're talking this really seriously as the beginning. And I'm going to be building these up like crazy. Just trying to show you here that look. And I had said at the beginning, I believe, you can even make this look like it's old and rusty. You can use cinnamon. You can use coffee, like a coffee grunge look. I probably won't. I'll take that pewter, which there is some of that pewter gold in here in my palette with this bright gold. So that's what I'll be doing. But of course, you guys can do whatever you want. I'm gonna do my little bit of outlining with like the brown and black, and then this part, this will be over for the video, but then I'm gonna be building up much more. I love to add all the different metallics on, but that'll be at the end as well. And I always do put pictures on. I've never done it with the StreamYard, but I know I can have like a cover photo, right? That's in my editing app, I believe. There's a lot to learn here, guys. And I thought I was just an artist, just gonna, just show you my painting. That is not the case. I gotta be a photographer. Stick a little bit of navy on here. So these palette, and I mean, it can be any palette brush or palette knife. I've just been loving this one that's pointy because you can do many, many, many different techniques with this one. Okay, so I was showing you like the splattery or splatter look, spackled look actually, but then you can also scratch through it. Let's see. Yep, we're almost done. Almost done with this video. Let me go back in. This is Tuscan Red. All Tuscan Reds are not the same. I had to find that one out the hard way, guys. My friend loved Tuscan Red. Oh, and I was at the store one time, like, oh my gosh. I was at Michael's, I believe, or Hobby Lobby, and I'm like, ooh, oh my gosh, I'm gonna get some Tuscan Red, because she always, that's like one of her favorites. And I liked it too. I mean, I loved it, what she was doing with it. Like, oh, good. And I get home, I'm like, what the heck? That doesn't look like hers. It looks like apple red. It was a different brand. So you definitely have to like know your brands if you're gonna like, once you get like colors that you just love, you gotta make sure you know what brand it is. Red that I wanted, which I believe is Apple Barrel, and I got like folk art. It's got a real deep, almost like a burgundy look to it. So it's perfect for your orange pumpkins for sure. So it's fun to do all different colors, but I really do love the traditional as well. Okay, so like this is wet, there's not a whole lot more that I can do in this session. I like to let everything dry on its own. It just, and you know, as you go, if you're a budding artist, you can take what I tell you and then you can apply it. And you may like something completely different than me, you know? I mean, most likely, I hope that you do. I really do. That's very freeing to find your own niche and techniques and all that. I'm just using some of this regular green. I say regular, I don't know why I say that. You know, Christmas green and true green and all that. Just like a brighter green. Traditional green, really. Now, splatter painting is very fun too, so I'm thinking I might add a little bit of splatters on here. You know, just because it is such a solid background, and I'm really not. I really don't do the solid background very often. My backgrounds alone usually make like major statements, but I don't know. At fall time, I really do like the black backgrounds. I mean, I like the black backgrounds often, depending on like what it is, you know, per season. I really do. There is quite a few. I love to do like Christmas trees and stuff with a darker background too. So I'm just cleaning my brushes because we're coming to an end here. I was going to use this one, but everything's so wet. But this is what I would use, the little um, outlining brush. I hope that it's in the picture. Sorry. I'm going to add, this is black, and then that espresso brown. And yeah, it's too wet, guys. But I got to do it. I got to show you. I'll do it like this. I love like pumpkin, you know, the bottom. Like they almost look square. It's fun. They're fun. So you don't have to go from top to bottom doing the outline, just as long as it kind of goes along that, I don't even know what they're called. You know, those creases. And you're going to want to, you know, obviously you're not going to want to go like straight down, because then you're definitely not going to achieve that popping out look. And depending on, you know, your style, what you like, you always can do the DAP and it is DAP brand, but it's the like lightweight spackle. I mean, I think there's probably many different brands, but that's what I have. Lightweight spackle and then joint compound, and they're both by DAP, what I have. And I like them. It's just that for the style, well, yeah, my style is I just make things too wet and it just doesn't work. It'll loosen right back up even if you do wait the like 24 hours. So for me, I found that baking soda works better. But you'll definitely come into your own. Okay, so you can see right here how like that outlining really just adds to the trick in the eye, right? That it's actually popping out there and looking like a pumpkin. I hope you enjoyed this. There's not much I can do to the gold right now, so let's see. I'm just gonna give this a little bit. I'm putting black, but I'm also adding like a little bit of that navy to this one. And you know, pumpkins can be all different, like shapes and sizes. Some of them are really, really tall and thin. I kind of just stayed with, whoops, I put that in green, with, you know, they're pretty much like just that traditional pumpkin. Well, they're all the same style pumpkin on this one, but sure don't have to, right? So then once it's dried, I'll probably do a little bit of more of that, the not lightweight spackle. What was I going to say, guys? That's what I missed with my not doing it live. You guys help me out with words. What's I trying to say? Huh. Oh, the finger painting. And I'll go around with like white and literally just take my finger and kind of do splatters on here, like I was showing you with the palette knife. And again, we're gonna have lots more greens. I am gonna add some, I don't think I have any over here. Not any that I want, but I do like this. This is the moss. Is that moss? I don't know what that is, but I picked it. But that might look cute down here too, you know, along the bottom. And of course, this is not gonna look like this. We're gonna outline it, but it's not even, we got a lot to building up to do for that. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this. And I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. And I'm Corey with Creative Roots Art. And thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube for many, many, many more. This is actually one of my passions. I absolutely love painting and I love teaching. Try to keep it rather simple, you know. So, not done, guys, but getting there and done. At this moment, I'm going to let it dry. And then I can do pictures and all that. All right? Have a great rest of your day, guys.